In 1995, the Judge Dredd franchise got a push into the mainstream. A film was released starring action hero Sylvester Stallone. Was this any good? No, not really. Many fans of the series were outraged by the fact that Stallone took off the helmet and the fact that Judge Dredd wasn't really Judge Dredd. A lot of the story didn't make a lot of sense, and it was only really loosely based on some of the ideas of the franchise. However, this wasn't all bad, of course. Also in 1995, Probe Software released a tie-in game. Released on a variety of systems, it was very well received. So let's look at it now then, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, I have a confession to make, and that's that I don't actually like this game, or at least I didn't think I did. As a kid, I grew up with the Sega Mega Drive version of this game, which had some interesting ideas, but overall was a bit janky. Okay? And not surprisingly, I thought the Super Nintendo version would be exactly the same. I was completely wrong, and this is a good sort of thing of the Super Nintendo guys. I always assumed it was fanboyism, sort of saying our console was better. Well, in some cases they were right, and this is unfortunately one of them. So we are today playing the Super Nintendo version, and I've already wasted some time today because I actually recorded about 45 minutes of the Sega Mega Drive version. So yeah, both versions are very fresh in my mind, and there's a lot that we have to discuss. But before I start bitching and moaning, what the hell is this? Well, it's your typical sort of mid-90s platformer. It is indeed a movie tie-in, but it strays away enough from the movie to actually be a capable product by itself. It's not made by LJN as well, which is always a good sign when it comes to Super Nintendo ports. The story is sort of linked into the movie, but not massively, and one of the big things that they actually slice into this to differentiate it is the Dark Judges are here. Not in a big way, but they are the game's final boss. Now, there's two ways you can generally proceed with these levels. You can kill the perpetrators or you can arrest them. In most of the levels, killing or arresting the perpetrators is a secondary sort of objective, and there is a primary objective. The primary objective in this level is to destroy all these weapon containers. There's a plethora of different ammo types, and you can cycle through them. Most notably, on this version, you use the L and R buttons to cycle. On the Mega Drive version, you just press C, and you can only cycle in one direction. Now that's actually quite important when we actually go up against the Dark Judges. A Dark Judge will be on each level inhabiting a perp's body. Once you kill the perp, you need to lock the Dark Judge away, or he will just go off and possess another perp on the level. And to do that, you need to basically cycle through to the particular ammo type that will lock him away. And if you're playing this on the Mega Drive version, you've got to cycle through every type of ammo that's in your inventory to get to that, and the Dark Judge has probably already escaped by that point and flown off into another body. At least on this version, it's a hell of a lot quicker. And you know, as a kid, I was really obsessed with actually arresting all the perps in the levels rather than killing them. As you can probably see, I'm actually doing that here. I'm trying to arrest everyone that I can. Right. You're not a Dark Judge, I thought you were going to be. Unlike the Mega Drive version, the only real way to arrest a perp is to hit them with the stun type of ammo. At least in this one, they will generally give up or surrender depending on their health. The actual mechanically, this version is a hell of a lot more fleshed out, and you can tell which was the original and which was the port. And in the Mega Drive version, it's not even raining during this third section. It's very clean in comparison. Right, the guy on the right with the flames, that is a perp possessed by a Dark Judge. So let's get rid of Mr. Shotgun here. And then take you out. Okay, can I get him? Yes, there we go. And he is contained. He will now not bother us anymore on this particular level. That hurt. This is the stun disc I've got selected right now, which allows me just to instantly bloody capture people. Doesn't work on all enemies, but it does on this first section at least. Okay, and that's the first level over with, so let's get out of here. So if we can actually compare this version to the Mega Drive version, I'm going to keep doing it because I feel bloody robbed. My childhood is a lie. This version's fantastic, and actually the game lives up to what people say about it. And I fully recommend playing it. But again, we will go more onto the different versions when we actually hit the end of the video. We're not probably going to get massively far in this game. When as a kid, I used to be able to get to the Cursed Earth section, and considering that was the Mega Drive version, I'm amazed I was capable of that. This is actually quite a difficult game as far as I'm concerned, and we will probably make it probably somewhere close to where I got to earlier with the Mega Drive version, so maybe 45 minutes in. We're basically going to run until I run out of lives, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, there's a bit of a secret up here. I say a bit of a secret. You've got to sort of remember to, if you see one of these boxes, for God's sake, don't let it get destroyed. Now, I was hoping that would do something as well. Laser barriers, not in the Mega Drive version. Alright, let's stun disc you. Don't duck! I like the fact there's actually a dedicated button to arresting in this version, and I need to stop doing that, but I find it quite important to sort of say, if you're going to play this game, do not play the Mega Drive version. I mean, there is the DOS version as well, which we could discuss, but again, we'll do that later. This is probably the time where I do full disclosure and say, I've never actually even completed this game. And that's mostly down to the fact that I didn't think it was very good. Again, considering I played the Mega Drive version. Now that I've actually had time to sit down with this, there's a good chance I will probably want to actually go through it at some point. That doesn't mean I'm ever going to do a complete run of it, however, and that's mostly because it's not a short game by any stretch of the imagination. I think if you're speedrunning it, it can take about an hour and a half. Now, I should mention this as well. Yeah, I thought so. These terminals can sometimes be used to open doors. That door there, we can't go through till we've killed more perps or destroyed more crates. So yeah, it's not a short game. There's actually quite a lot here. I think 2.5 hours is your general sort of time to complete. And again, because it's not the easiest game in the world, it's a bit of a challenge to get through. It's not just a romp in the park. And I have completely lost where I need to go. Oh wait, have I been down here? Ah, here we go. Another bloody vent section. The level designs are slightly different, and I do mean very slightly when compared to the other version that I played earlier. Not massively so, but some things are in slightly different places. And I would actually say this version is actually harder. The actual enemy AI seems a bit more fleshed out. Right, boss time! And the music, there we go. I was going to say that was a bit weird. Music cut out for a second. Now this guy, you can only hurt him when his shield is not in front of him. Absolute pain in the arse. It's your best bet just to use bombs here, but I think I've actually bloody ran out. And when I was playing this earlier on the other system, I had full ammo. I don't know if I've mentioned this already as well, that on the other system there isn't actually a dedicated close combat button, it just sort of happens when you're close to the enemies. At least on this one it does indeed have it. Go on, smash the box, there we go. Alright, just gotta smash through to the exit of the level, and then we will be on to stage 2, which is the Aspen Penal Colony. Have I actually seen the Dark Judge on this level? Did I lock him away on this level, or was that the last level? Oh, I don't know. Off to the cubes with you, and next level. To the best of my knowledge, there are actually 12 stages in this game. Now, considering you only get a password once you've completed the second stage of each level, I would actually assume there's more like 24 in total, which is actually pretty damn balmy. Okay, so anyway, we are off to the Aspen Penal Colony. I do like the little the intros that are on each of the levels anyway. I really don't like this actually. In comparison to the first stage, this pisses me off no end. It's very much got that whole Metroidvania vibe of go up, go down, turn left, and bloody get lost while you're trying to do it and easily miss certain aspects of what's going on. And I've just noticed I'm getting a bit of screen tearing here, so apologies about that, but this game is actually surprisingly difficult to get running without errors. And I know you're going to say, well, what the hell, bloody Super Nintendo's really easy to emulate. Yeah, but this one, on the Snes, it has menu UI problems where it can't quite get some of the shading right, and on this one, well, I have to run it like this, full screen stretch, for it to properly run at all, so I don't bloody know. Maybe my system's still a bit fried from the reinstall I did last week. Now, you may remember earlier I said there were certain enemies you couldn't actually arrest. Oh, hang on. Dark Judge. These bastards are irritating. Right, Judge Mortis. Oh, come on. I hit him with that last one. Anyway, yeah, some enemies you can't arrest, and these guys are those. Probably because they're already in prison. Okay. On this level as well, the main objective is to lock down the prison, so we've got to use every one of those consoles we find. And there's a lot more bloody environmental hazards as well, with bloody garbage chutes and bloody heat vents. But, you know, at least it's not as bad as the bloody Amiga version. Okay, so I think there are 3 consoles per level, so I think that was number 2. Maybe got 1 more left. Drop it. I really don't remember these levels that well, and that's really daft considering, as I say, I only played the Mega Drive version earlier, but it's a bit of a rabbit warren of how it's laid out. The actual Snes version, because it's aesthetically just about different enough, and I mucked that up. If I hadn't destroyed that crate, I could have got up there. Because it's aesthetically different enough, I have no idea where I actually need to go. Okay, hang on. I think if we go to the left here, that'll take us to sort of like an underground warren thing. And I was firing off completely the wrong type of ammo there. No. Ah, hello, Dark Judge. You know what, I can't remember who the hell we put away now. Are we only successful actually in prison 1, Dark Judge? Have some heat-seeking missiles. Okay, that is Mortis. Oh, fuck's sake. I might as well have just given up. I wasn't even really trying there, was I? Okay then. Yep, you're all open. There is actually, say, this underground section where the perspective is really weird, and that's on this section. Come on! There we go. Not really doing that well. 1 life and not much of my second life remaining. I hate these bloody guys. They do a hell of a lot more damage than the guys with the guns. Although that wouldn't be an issue if I just got within their throwing arc. Hello. You gave up really surprisingly easy. Okay, yes, this is the rabbit warren thing a bit. Oh, God's sake. Okay, Judge Mortis again. Only 1 rocket hit, and that's another life gone. I'm going to probably end up dying something really bloody stupid. If you haven't guessed already, I'm not very good at this game. I've really, I wish I'd had more time to sort of spend with it before I actually made this video. Yeah, I really do. Okay, so that should, in theory, be the last terminal. Unless, of course, that's only the second one I've come across. Garbage chute! You gave up again, surprisingly quickly. Do you mind not shooting me in the face with a shotgun? Yeah, no, we're nowhere near the end of this level, so there must be at least, I've either only done 2 or there are more than 3 on the level. Do you mind? Thank you. See, this was a bit of a dichotomy, whereas I went down here for the health, but I've ended up losing some in return, but I came out of it better off. So at least there's that. And I just lost it. Oh, God's sake. There's probably no point me going down there now. Okay, so let's see. I would have liked the levels to be a bit more linear in the way they're laid out. Okay, there's the exit. So there's a computer terminal down here, I believe. Down that ladder, but hang on. Yep, nothing that way, so definitely down the ladder. Yes, there we go. Do you mind? Stop shooting me in the face. Okay. And then we can just jump over, and that'll be section 1 of stage 2 complete. Right then, unless I find another life, this is going to be the last level we're going to be looking at for this video. Yeah, I knew you were going to be there. Okay, there's actually something I'm going to try out as well. At least on the Mega Drive version, there's like a bit of a platform to the left, so I mucked that up. Let's just try that again. I want to see if it goes anywhere. As the jumping is actually a hell of a lot better in this version, I'd be no. Let's just say it doesn't go anywhere. I'm not going to faff around with that jumping puzzle. Oh, that's interesting as well. You just fall down the holes in this version. On the Mega Drive version, you have to actually physically push down. Instead, it just drops you. Right, it's this level which actually has the underground cavern section with the weird perspective. And actually, this is about where I got to earlier in my original playthrough on the Mega Drive. So obviously, I didn't actually play for as long as I thought I did, because we're only about 15 minutes in. Unless, of course, I'm just busting through this version a hell of a lot quicker. Okay. Ideally, I'm probably better off just avoiding all the bloody enemies and just going to the exit, because I'm not going to survive. Not especially when you got bloody these guys shooting me in the shins with shotguns. Ah! Think you mucked up that attack. Okay, console number 1 of 3. Yeah, come on, I'm not going to... Unless I find either a bloody level... you know, a 1-up or a bloody full health. That's not a full health, but it will do. That'll keep me going for a few more minutes. We can do a bit more exploring. How much the gameplay actually changes up is to be seen. What I might do... When we come to the end of this series, and I've done my full run of the Amiga version, well, the Amiga game, I might just sort of do a short video on what comes up later in this game. You know, actually compile a proper review of it instead of just like I'm doing here, which is a bit of a investigative first impression type thing. Okay, right, here's the drop down. And as you can see, what you've got here is you've got a semi-3D background, and we're used to the full 2D, with 2D sprites on top, and it's a bit weird. I don't think it quite works. And up here? Yeah, come on, we're not going to survive for much bloody longer. I will arrest you, though, for the sake of it. Oh, please don't tell me I'm going to get killed by the oil. No, I'm going to get killed by a knife. Right, so there we go. Obviously, as I said, I'm not great at this game, but that is Judge Dredd, the 1995 movie game. So let's just show some footage of the other games then, shall we? We've of course been looking at the Super Nintendo release, but there were a whopping 4 other versions of the game released. There was the Mega Drive / Genesis version, the Game Gear version, the Game Boy version, and a DOS PC version. The DOS PC version is mostly identical to the actual Super Nintendo version, with the exception that it lacks gamepad support. Obviously, the version you really want to be playing here is the Super Nintendo version, completely ignoring the Game Gear and Game Boy versions because they're absolutely atrocious. As always, a big thank you goes to you for watching this video. If you missed the last episode, feel free to click on the annotation that's being shown on the screen right now, and the annotation for the next episode is there also. If you're watching this at a time the next episode hasn't been released, feel free to subscribe and it will let you know. Cheers for watching, ta-ta for now.